The subject of meditation has always interested me, starting at a young age, reading different books, coming up with my own conclusions. Now, at the age of 35, almost 36, while I don't claim to be an expert in anything, there's a few things that I've learned along the way that I think are worth sharing. And there's a lot of turbulence in our world. And a lot of people want to be grounded and coexist in a world where they're not consumed by the madness. And so that's why this basic conversation on meditation is taking place. It's a conversation more than anything else. Because I want to share these basic fundamentals that I think can help people remain centered when life seems to really, have them by the tail. So deep breathing is something that I recommend people start with, and we're going to start with that. It's at the basic core of tapping into your own energy field, your chi, your human aura. And so by taking deep breaths into the stomach and holding that and releasing that energy, and knowing that that's energy, releasing old energy, and also bringing in new with each breath. Breathing in through the nose, and in some cases the mouth. Now, it's a matter of preference, but I think that there's something to breathing through the nose and the mouth at the same time, bringing in that energy into the core of your being. And of course, coming into your being consciously, calming your thoughts. This is the beginning stage of really doing anything and applying your focus to anything. It's getting in your body and taking those deep breaths. And from that stage, there's a couple different ways to pronounce it. Vipassana. And I went on a meditation retreat to one of these camps in 2002. Now, this is the art of expanded awareness, observation of yourself. And it is a meditation based in becoming equanimous and remaining calm, non-reactive to external stimuli. So the basic idea is to allow yourself to breathe naturally through the nose only. And if you can practice that while I'm describing this, it'll help. And I wish I could really do it as I talk, but that's not really all that possible. But bringing yourself into that center of awareness, where you're observing your breath through your nose, naturally, and becoming aware of what it feels like to have that wind, that air going in and out of your nostrils. Now, they've recommended that people go to the retreats to really learn how this is done. There are some online courses. But to really get a grasp for it, it's like something that you're kind of thrust into or volunteer to go into, where you step back from your cell phone and the internet and talking. This was all a quiet meditation. Where people are there to meditate all day with breaks and a vegetarian diet. And so the goal is to become very aware of what's going on inside you down to a cellular level. And there's things like sweeps, where you sweep your body, your awareness of the different parts of your body as you breathe, observing your breath. And so through these sweeps and maintaining a sense of non-reactiveness, remaining equanimous, which is a word often used in Vipassana courses. It helps one really get a hold of themselves in the sense of getting a hold of that monkey mind and reactive action, where people are acting on impulse without thinking automatically. There's times in our lives where we really have to just not be so affected by things going on around us. So my unique talk involves, hey, there's mind control and propaganda. You know what's out there. There's ways to not be so adversely impacted because there's many forms of propaganda. Things that are out there or that happen in the world, or people that insult you or target you or try to frighten you and get inside our mind, get inside our consciousness. Psychic attack, which this conversation will evolve to in this podcast. But we're starting here with the basics of deep breathing to get inside your body. And of course, reverting back to a deep breath as you do your meditations to recenter yourself and give you that boost of energy as you take that breath, deep breath in your stomach, hold the air there, and then release it, in some cases in a controlled manner, through your lips as you feel that powerful energy release, as you bring in more energy. Vipassana is a good starting point, which is not the deep breathing, but the observation of the breath. And to be able to sit in a posture for a period of time without twitching or responding to itches, being aware of those sensations, observing them deeply, and then letting them go. And so from there, we'll move on to the next phase. And this information was brought to me, taught to me, by a teacher online that offered to let me join his course for free. And I feel that throughout my life, different pieces of information have come to me, at a certain stage. So, in looking at the meditation, early on it was the deep breathing and also the martial arts component of the body movement, moving meditation. To Vipassana in 2002, learning to sit and observe, but always feeling there was something more to also practice or learn, especially with regards to psychic protection and grounding. And so it was several years ago, beginning in 2012, where I first took this course. And each of these would be like 1 hour, focusing on just one aspect of this. The clearing out of the head, the creating and destroying of roses, we'll talk about that, the grounding. And these are what I believe are like the missing components in a lot of people's meditation practice. And what these don't involve or include is channeling or opening up yourself or your energy centers to foreign energy. On the contrary, it is about bringing in your own energy, and it is about protecting your space and grounding out foreign energy, including your own emotional pain, which could be a blockage in your energy system, which could cause problems in your life in other ways. And so a lot of these meditations, in fact, every single one of them, began first with getting in your body, and you can do that with deep breathing. And I recommend a little Vipassana to discipline your mind to focus. And then the meditations would begin with a golden sun above your head, which represents something. It represents your own energy that you are pulling back from other places. Okay, so maybe things you've given a lot of attention to, maybe a pain, a breakup, your work, something's got a hold of you, relationships, finances. Oh dear, how am I going to pay the rent? So when people are in these different states, propaganda, they're being affected by the mind control. Okay, they may not be fully present. So you want to become present. And this golden sun has in the side of it a magnet. And the magnet is inside of it, and it pulls your energy in all those places where you've left it into that sun. And as more of your own energy returns to the sun, it becomes larger, and it begins to bubble and form like sunspots. It's splattering coronal mass ejections. To really illustrate this and kind of give my own, version of the meditation. It is powerful with your energy. And so from that point, and this meditation teacher did not insist people sit in the lotus position. Again, everybody has their own way of teaching and where they start. So it may be more comfortable for you to be in the lotus position. Or, as this person recommended, to be seated in a chair with your feet flat on the ground and your head upright. But you can also do it laying down, and I'm actually laying down as I give this podcast. Because for me, it's helping me focus. But as far as posture, I think it's good to try different things. There's the Japanese way of sitting. There's the traditional East Indian or lotus position. And there is being seated in a chair. So in this case, this meditation was taught with someone seated in a chair and with that bubbling gold sun above them. Perhaps give a few moments to it. Allow it to happen. Don't force it to happen. That's a big part of this meditation. To allow and to ground out and let go of the need for something to be perfect or control, but to allow the process to happen because you already have the gifts. And knowing that you have the gifts is a big part of this working. So with that bubbling sun above your head, the next step is to reach up. Of course, you're putting your attention on your spirit hand, reaching up and poking a hole in the bottom of the monster sun that holds your energy, pulled in by the magnet. Okay. And then through that hole, all that energy coming down, and this is fairly easy to visualize, especially observing how the sun spits out energy. This is your own sun, okay, with your own energy. And it's all coming back into your body, into your aura, which you have, of course, brought up to a closer proximity to your body because we have the ability to project our auras and our energy fields and our thoughts. We're bringing it all in, okay, visualizing that electric blue light around our body, several feet above, several feet below, in front and behind us, and all the way around in 360. And so now we're full of our own energy. It's continuing to spill in. It's continuing to pour in. And there's different ways of doing this. This is not something that is concrete, but the sun represents light and energy, and that comes in the form of many colors. All the colors of the rainbow. So you can take some time to clean yourself out, bringing in your own energy with a vibrant array of colors, from red to purple to green to blue to yellow to orange. And so we're not pouring in just random white light. You're bringing in your own energy, your own spirit, And it's coming through in this really refined way. Now, following that, you take both hands, your spiritual hands, that is. Of course, you can also use your physical hands. And movements like Qigong are very powerful to do as well to warm up before your meditation. But sticking to this point, bringing in that gold sun with both hands into your body, and your body consuming that ball of energy, reclaiming your own energy. Now we'll take a deep breath. And just feel that energy. And that vibrant energy field around you. Now you might feel that energy in your heart as you take those deep breaths and exhale. And now in this meditation, you want to put your consciousness at your sixth chakra, in your mind. And from this perspective, the next step in all of this is to create a grounding cord. Now, this is not new for some people that have taken yoga, but there's a lot more to the grounding cord and how it relates to protecting your thoughts and staying balanced and centered in a fairly turbulent world. And so, in this phase of the meditation, being in your mind, being in the state of creation, you want to visualize that grounding cord out in front of you by several feet. And there's different types of grounding cords, from a waterfall to a tree trunk to a long chain to something akin to a hula hoop system, a chain of hula hoops. And you want to, of course, create that in front of you and then connect it to the root chakra, releasing, letting gravity take the other end of the grounding cord to the center of the Earth's core. So the center of the Earth's core is the location that we as humans connect to that are on this earth. Grounding to a powerful source of energy that we can release the pain, the foreign energy, the stuck pictures. And the core of the earth in this meditation is a place where all that stuff that gets shot down and really pulled down by gravity, we don't have to make it happen. It just happens. It goes down that hole. You picture the well that goes on for miles. It's that type of a thing. And by applying your mind to it and your thoughts and letting it happen and knowing that you have those gifts, that is really where the success comes from in these meditations. And so once you're connected, you want to check, and literally by even applying your thought to this, you're going to where it's really happening. You want to check that it's actually connected. You visualize your hand going down there and making sure it's connected to the core of the earth. And the grounding cord should be fairly wide. And it can be hard at first to visualize a grounding cord that is, larger than, so many inches or feet. But the idea is to ground to the earth with a powerful, wide grounding cord, without holes, without disruptions, without anything or anyone coming to disconnect yourself from being grounded to the earth. And so as you do that, So establishing that grounding cord is the first step. Flipping the switch and letting a vacuum type of energy go from there, pulling out the pain, the stuck pictures, the wild thoughts. And while in Vipassana, you were observing each area of the body, not reacting to it. Now you're not sweeping the body, you're grounding the feet. There's chakras in the feet. As you release the stuck energy and just let it flow. As it flows up through your legs, through your shins, as you feel it all through your being to your kneecaps. And the micro energy centers there as you pull it up through your thighs. As you connect these parts of the body to your grounding cord. As you just release the need to be perfect, the effort, and just allow it to happen. Working your way up to the root chakra, of course the hips, through your torso, the front of your body, and the back, from the top to the bottom, down to your hips. To grounding out the shoulders, biceps, triceps, the arms, the forearms, and the hands. The hands also a major energy center in the body. Grounding out the neck and grounding out the head. Now back to the head. From this stage, you have to take into account that there's a lot in our mind. And there's a lot of monkey thoughts. And there's a lot of programming. And a lot of it we can't identify. But it is there. It's in the subconscious. And so grounding out the mind, grounding out that sixth chakra, grounding out that place. And as this has been taught, and I think that this is the cornerstone of psychic protection, there could be implants, there could be thoughts, there could be people in the head that are trying to influence things. And those entities get flushed down the grounding cord, pulling all of those things down in a supersonic, powerful fashion. All you have to do is sit back, take a deep breath, and direct it. Letting go of old thoughts from the head. Letting go of programs down the grounding cord to the center of the earth in this fusion, fireball. And all that energy, wherever it came from, refine itself, going back to its original source. And then, of course, sweeping the body again. Grounding now the aura. And filling that energy field around your body. That electric blue light. And the entirety of that field being grounded. So this can go on for several minutes. This can go on for several hours. The point is to be able to clarify your sight as you do this, while grounding yourself, and being able to really visualize it, and to really be there spiritually, and to be in the body, and to have enough energy in your body to keep going, to keep grounding, to keep moving to the next level of taking yourself to a more clear state than the state that it was before. And like all things, like exercise, like proper diet, nutrition, like basic human hygiene, these techniques work as long as you work them, as long as you maintain a sense of consistency. So you could achieve a sense of being really grounded and centered, and then fall back into a ungrounded state of mind and consciousness. And so This is more of a way of life, to the point where you do this automatically, to where, you're driving, down some freeway, and it's rush hour, and people are honking and screaming, and you're taking a deep breath. You're not being automatically reactive, and you're grounded. You could be anywhere. You could be in a major urban city with insanity going on around you, and it may be turbulent, but you're grounding. You're maintaining your center. And so periodically, as you do this, and you take deep breaths, bring in more gold sun and fill in those areas that have been cleared. Fill in your mind. Fill in your body. Fill in your soul with your own pure essence that's been perhaps misdirected somewhere out there in the universe. Maybe someone leached off your energy at one point and you feel drained. You want your energy back. There's a way you can do that. And that's what this is. And so the sun is an infinite power source. And so is your own individual sun, with the entirety of the color spectrum. Now, the next stage of this involves directing your awareness to your head. And now that we've done some clearing out, it's time to take it to the next level and see that monitor. And that's your sixth sense, what you can see. When you can see with your third eye, as they say, and you have an impression. The goal here is to clear out your reading space or your monitor that allows you to put these things in a visual context as we go through this meditation. And so you want to clear out your reading screen. And a way to do that is through the use of a rose or a towel or a rag or something. I don't see any reason why it may need to be a certain thing, but this was taught using the visual of a rose. And so, of course, we take this back a step. I'm not doing this meditation with notes. But as we get into our space of focus, we see that rose in front of us that we create of any color and size, with a long stem, with thorns in some cases. You give it detail. And then you take that rose with your spiritual hand and you toss it 20 feet, 30 feet, maybe more in front of you. And you blow it up with your consciousness. You created it, now you blow it up. You can maybe put something next to it that visualizes something that you push. I think about, like Pac-Man, video games with the joystick at the arcade, hitting that button. Boom! And like a spiritual nuke going off, it just disappears that into thin air. And so through a process of visualizing this, your ability to focus on doing this and making it real increases. Creating the rose, different colors, different shapes, throwing them away from your field, and then blowing them up. So we create a rose. Let's call it a red rose. Typical red rose with thorns and beauty. Something from a rose garden. Real thick. You take a hold of it. And the head, of course, the flower, the flowering part of the rose, the petals. This is like sticky like a fly trap. Okay, and the purpose of this rose is to go inside the catacombs of your mind, picking up all the debris, all the programming, all the stuck thoughts, stuck emotions, stuck pictures, obsessions, even addictions, and so much more. But you don't even have to think about all those things. All you have to do is tell that rose what to do, because that rose is your creation. That rose is your tool. And these are your tools. And so the rose could develop to have a very large head to clear out the entirety of your mind. And you may want to do this several times and then throw it out 20 plus feet beyond your aura and then detonating it, destroying it, making it vanish into thin air through whatever form you choose. Maybe you want to shoot it. Use some sort of cosmic crossbow. Boom! Over and over and over, like on a shooting range. As your skills get sharper and sharper and sharper. So we also take that rose and we clean the chakras. We clean also the different parts of the specific energy. And then we throw that rose out and we blow it up. And I again use the visual of the video game console. Hitting the button, boom. Hitting the button, boom. Vanishing it into thin air. Okay, so going back to the mind and going back into this room where you're viewing reality from in your inner sight, a room that is of your own design, a room that is of your own making. It could be on paradise, it could be on another planet, but you have your viewing screen there that allows you to see what you're focusing on. So you can be on the Star Trek Enterprise, it could be something out of Star Wars, but you're there in that moment in your battleship or your peace ship, in your chair of your design. What kind of chair do you want? And you visualize yourself in that chair, in that room, with all foreign energy gone, observers gone, voices in your head gone, thoughts you're thinking about going on with other stuff, all that stuff gone. You're in this room that's your spaceship. You're in central command. You're in the creator space of your own world and destiny, because you are the creator. And this is a space where it is done. And so from this perspective, again, taking your awareness from there to the fact that you are still grounded as you take a deep breath. And we are going to go into another component of this, which, again, we're in the entry levels of this. I'm keeping this very basic so people can absorb this information. But there is a certain assumption that some of the stuff is New Age teachings, and that's when you're dealing with channeled spirits and things of that nature, and counterfeit forecasts for the future, and certain people in the so-called ascension movement. That's not what this is. But grounding and earthing is a very natural thing because we are of the earth. But I believe we're also connected to the cosmos. And so this is taking the meditation to an as above, so below, as below, so above, bringing basically a sense of balance to the body. And there's sacred geometry out there that expresses this union of the heavens and the earth, and the human being or human body being some sort of a conduit for that. And so I want to take your attention to the center of the earth again, this massive fusion, churning source of energy. And I'm going to stick with how this meditation was taught to me. You want to pick an earth color. Okay, a color that you associate with the earth or the earth energy. So we're going to pick forest green. Okay, or you can also pick something, you can think, red coral, turquoise, sandy orange beach. But we bring up that energy of that color through the feet, which is why this meditation works well when you're seated with your feet flat on the floor or laying down. Bringing in that forest green energy, earth energy, clearing out again the leg channels, not just grounding, but now bringing up healing earth, recentering energy now to the root chakra, where it churns and spins and heals, and then goes down the grounding cord. So up through the feet, hitting the balls of the feet, the chakras in the feet, powerful energy centers. That's why I see a little bit of overlap with martial arts, with certain body movements and dancing and qigong. It's the movement of the hands and the feet. Also great, again, for warming up for your meditation, any of these practices, be it qigong or martial arts, and or concluding it. And so continuing to do this, churning, like one of those fireballs on the sun, where it's looping back, it's looping, hitting your feet, going up to your kneecaps, through your thighs, your chins, the whole thing, your genitalia, your root chakra, your hips, and then down the grounding cord, your wide, powerful, golden grounding cord to the center of the earth with all that energy going back to where it came from, and your legs getting a healing from this. Continuing the process. So you're visualizing the process, and you're getting used to thinking about this. And then you bring in another concept that's going to match that, because you're going to bring in two energies at once. So we now turn our focus to the core of creation, of all that is, source creation. And we pick a color in this case. So we're gonna go with Neptune blue or sky blue. And we're gonna bring it in through the cosmos, breaking through the control grid matrix, breaking through the chemtrails, breaking through the smart meters, breaking through the propaganda, breaking through all this trauma that happened to you today, breaking through all this garbage on the internet, just breaking through, just boom, breaking through the veil. This is something that I'm adding to this. It's breaking through the veil that's trying to separate us from source creation and all this knowledge from the sun as well. So it hits your crown chakra, which is above your head. Above your head by a few inches. And I'm going to try to go through this quickly, but as you go through each chakra, you want to take time to visualize it healing your chakra or your energy center from all that pain and things that are stuck. And we have a lot of stuff that's stuck in our back. That's why back massages feel so good. It's because of all that stuck energy. Like the trapezoid area. Oh, I'm actually pitching mine right now. It just feels so good. You massage your, and that's also a good way to warm up for meditation or to take a break between I'm doing it right now. It's also good to drink plenty of fluids to release those toxins when you're getting a deep muscle massage or opening up your own energy centers. And there's also a place that you might want to pinch that's in your forearm. And some of you may already know where it's at, on the top part of the forearm. Of course, the front of the bicep, the wrist. And so there's a reason why the massage business does so well, is because people are using touch to release toxins and emotions. This is doing it with your thoughts, and this is moving the energy with your thoughts. And so stretching and being healthy helps on a physical level, we're discussing spiritual maintenance, spiritual hygiene. Again, just like taking a shower and being regular with certain things like diet and exercise. This is really owning our space and healing those chakras, which may have come under some form of damage through our lifestyles or our environments in some of these cities, or toxic relationships, um, and not a very happy experience at the workplace. It could really toy with our energy centers and send them out of balance. And so as you bring in that Neptune blue cosmic energy from source creation, not alien spirits, not Archangel XYZ. See, that's what makes this meditation very different than some of the others. Okay. This is about tapping in with the true light that is there and is accessible. So going from the crown chakra, filling it with energy, it's swirling and then giving it a spin and letting it spin naturally as it needs to spin. It will know what direction it needs to spin. All you're doing is playing director and standing back and grounding out effort and just allowing the process to take place, allowing the healing to take place, allowing your chakras to spin and spin and spin, sending out all this energy and pain that's been lodged inside you for so long. So, of course, the chakras represent different things. We're not really discussing that in this meditation. But going from the crown chakra and continuing the same process with the 6th to the 5th to the 4th to the 3rd to the 2nd to the 1st. Taking time to do it, taking time to feel it, and visualizing that energy coming down like a beam on all sides of our spine, from the front to the back to the side, in 360. A beam of light going down those chakras alongside our spine, connecting at the root chakra with the earth energy, which in this example would be green. So we have this Neptune blue and forest earth green coming together at the root chakra, now combining a 50-50 energy. And what we're going to do now, and there's probably different variants of this, but sticking with this specific technique, we start to bring up 10% energy from the earth with 90% of that cosmic source energy. So now both energies at the root chakra of 50-50, now there's the front of our body. And so the energy came in through the back channels, meeting the earth energy at the root chakra. And then it propels forward through the front chakras. So as we work from 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 with the source energy, galactic core frequency, and we bring that down to the root chakra. Excuse the coughing. As we bring up the earth energy, meeting at the root chakra, we now go to the 2nd chakra in the front. And there's a lot of emotion stuck in the 2nd and 3rd chakras, as well as the 4th. The 1st deals with a lot of sexuality and survival and instinct and certain things like that. So, when we're traumatized from certain things, or economic relationship, things like that, jobs, our 1st chakra could really be out of balance and ungrounded. That's why these meditations help people cope with the turbulent world, and also why we're discussing it. Because we're in a pretty turbulent world right now. And so going from the 1st, the 2nd, the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, you're clearing out a major energy center. There's a lot there. especially if you're a smoker or you've lived a less than healthy lifestyle. There's a lot of stuck emotion in your heart chakra area that needs to release, that needs care and attention on a regular basis to release that pain. And so each of the energy centers has certain things that are stuck in them or have been there for some time. So going from the first to the second, giving it a spin and filling it with energy, that pure energy. 10% earth and 90% cosmic energy when it's coming up the front channels. Going up from the heart, we have the throat chakra, which is the fifth. That's communication. That's speaking. And certain things can damage the throat chakra. And so, giving that a healing and giving that a spin. And then moving upwards to the sixth. Now we're in that headspace. That special room, master control. And we are blasting that upward. As we spin the chakra, as we provide the healing, it continues to blast upwards. Now, becoming a water fountain or energy fountain, with the cosmic energy running down our back channels, which meets the earth energy at the root chakra, together moving up the front channels, 10% earth, 90% cosmic, and I'm just sticking with how this was taught. Blasting outward through the crown chakra. Okay. And from that point, our aura being showered by this energy frequency. Now, this is where focus and practice come into play, and also letting go of effort, because it's not always easy to visualize these things. But this is a cosmic shower of earth and cosmic energy that is showering out of the top of your head. And that energy is spiraling outward around the eggshell of your aura, energizing and purifying your aura and trickling down like water to the base of your aura, which is connected to your grounding cord, which goes to the center of the earth. And so the energy, it comes up from the earth, and the cosmic energy, it goes up through your body, going out through your fountain, around your eggshell, and collecting down at the bottom like water, pouring down that grounding cord. And so energy is infinite. And in this case, you are cleaning out your own energy field and bringing in earth and cosmic energy and sending it back down to the earth, to this massive, mysterious fusion box that mankind truly does not understand. An Earth's core that directly impacts the strength of our Earth's magnetic field. And of course, all this connecting with the sun. Now, there's an extension of this. Once you've done that, and this works best if you're seated in a chair with your feet flat on the ground, and that would be to have the hands outstretched to your left and your right. And I'm sure you can do this lying down, but this is easier sitting up. Okay. So as the earth energy comes up through the feet, that powerful force screen, it accumulates in the root chakra. And you have the cosmic energy from source, Neptune blue, that is coming in through the back channels and also the spine. All the chakras getting a healing and a spin, being restored to balance. And then as it comes up the front channels, all the way up to your throat chakra, instead of shooting it all the way up, you now send it through your shoulders to your elbows, through your forearms, of course, your muscles, your biceps, your triceps, your whole body, to your hand chakras. Again, a mix of earth and cosmic energy. Now, from that perspective, you are now shooting energy up through your hands to the top of your aura from the inside. And it is playing a part in that fountain. So you have the energy come up through your feet to your root chakra, and the source energy come through your back to your root chakra, up to your throat chakra. It branches out to your arms, and then shoots up to the top of your aura. As you continue now to move your energy through your throat chakra to your sixth chakra to your seventh, you now have your energy moving up from both sides, or rather, from both your hands and your front channels. Your energy is shooting up to that water fountain that is releasing all that energy and purifying, going around your aura, and then attaching to your grounding cord and going to the center of the earth. And so from here, things usually progress to maybe specific manifestations or specific healings, specific issues, using the rose as a tool to identify something that you're stuck on, something in your head, a certain someone, and using that rose to absorb that energy and then to throw that rose out and blow it up. You can use a button. You can visualize a bomb. You can visualize some form of magical evaporation. But the fact of the matter is, you're doing self-healing on yourself. And you're in a space in your mind where you can see clearly, and you're grounded, and you're not distracted by all these pains. And maybe you've done some, again, meditation where you've gotten to a place where you can be present. And so deep breathing and or moving on to things like observation of your breath, VIPASSANA, to grounding yourself, to clearing out your space, moving out foreign energy and pain, using earth and cosmic energy. Those forces of energy in this universe that we are interacting with, whether we know it or not. And we're using those energies to elevate our frequency to a higher frequency, but most of all, to flush out the interference that's there, the baggage that's there, the things that are holding us back. And by clearing out the mind, like we go in, seek and destroy. We go after those belief systems in ourselves, those stuck pictures that are holding us back from evolving. So we may be able to identify through meditation those pictures and those things that we need to deprogram from. Sometimes we don't know, and it helps to know about some of the ways that we've been adversely impacted subconsciously or other by propaganda, and how we unconsciously program ourselves to be a victim. So we have to learn some of these skills for the first time. And so we practice the grounding, the flushing out of the energy, the old energy, connecting with earth and cosmic energy, and creating and destroying. Specifically creating and destroying this rose and different shapes of roses, that we clear out pictures. And we also apply to certain parts of our body that are experiencing great pain. So it could be an illness. It could be a muscle cramp. It could be a pinching pain of some form. And we can apply our thoughts and focus on that energy, become aware of what's going on, and use these tools to incrementally, bit by bit, change the energy in that part of our body. And so this is all the information that I should be sharing at this time. And I'm not an expert on this. And I don't remain grounded all the time either. I know now what it's like to feel grounded and centered and what it's not like to feel grounded and centered. And there's more than a few reasons why I feel that these tools can help people shield themselves from certain interferences that are out there that are impacting their psyche. And certain things may not be of a supernatural nature, but are simply the manifestation of their own thoughts. And so it's also good to complete your meditation by grounding again, recentering on that powerful energy field around you. And now that you've expended all this energy and thought, you want to create a whole new gold sun above your head, bringing in your energy that may have been left somewhere or may have been spent even on the meditation itself. And you want to bring in all these magnificent colors, the full spectrum of the rainbow, and poke a hole in the bottom of that sun, letting that energy pour back into your body, filling yourself in with that pristine, pure, powerful energy that is yours. But there is a connection between ourselves and Source. And there is a connection between ourselves and the earth. And so that is why we use those intentions to connect with that is real, to help us disconnect from what is not real. And that is the purpose of this meditation. That is the purpose of deep breathing and grounding yourself and other things that I'm going to be talking about in the future. And that now concludes this meditation podcast.